can't believe it's really you.
I can't believe you're actually here in Point Mystic.
How did you even get here?
Same way you did, through a door.
I feel like I've been doing that for fucking ever. Met lots of interesting people, visited some really crazy fucking places, but never found you. Though I got close once.
You did? How do you know?
The porcelain lily. Well, half of the porcelain lily that you told them to put in that lockbox.
Oh my God, you found it. It really got to you. It's incredible. I never really expected it to work. It was totally a Back to the Future move.
Never expected it to work? Really?
Okay, I was really hoping, but never certain. But it did work. Here's my piece.
Yep, and they fit.
Just like us.
That's fucking terrible, but I'm going to allow it because you're as wiped as I am, I'm sure.
Not all it's chalked up to be.
And now I want to punch you. That didn't take long at all. It might even be a record for you, Jakey.
I try.
So, how did you know I was here?
Once I arrived, I got introduced to Christopher. He wanted to interview me about how I ended up in Point Mystic. I said sure and told him my story. And then he asked me if I was looking for someone. That's when I started getting excited. Then he told me you were here.
Did he say where to find me?
No, he basically said just go walking around the town. You'll find her.
Typical of him. He told me the same thing, essentially. So I just started walking around. Eventually, I saw there was a lighthouse and got drawn to it. Wanted to check it out.
That was the first thing I noticed. I figured I'd give it a shot and then started searching the rest of the town. But I wasn't worried. I'm not under a time limit here.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what it is. Is it something about this place? Point Mystic. It's pretty unique.
Yeah. Has kind of a magical feel to it. Like it's not quite real. The place you've got to find yourself. And it's not on any map. Nobody outside of town really knows about it.
Kind of sounds like a certain other place we found.
Yeah, no kidding. But Ostium feels a long way off from here.
It sure does.
Maybe it's because we finally found each other. That's why we don't have to leave anymore, or at least right away.
Could be.
Why did you come after me?
Are you kidding? I had to, Jake. I wasn't going to let you fucking leave me behind again. Plus, I knew the state you were in. I needed to do whatever I could to try and get to you and help you. I wouldn't let anything hold me back. Nothing could stop me. I wasn't going to take no for an answer from anyone. I just wasn't going to let it happen.
Well, I could say something about how much it means to hear that, but words wouldn't do it justice. But I appreciate it. More than you'll ever know.
You sure about that?
Yes, undoubtedly. Wholeheartedly.
Okay, good. So, what's next for us?
I figured we'd go through a few more doors, check out a couple more worlds, see what's happening.
Sounds good to me.
Seriously?
Fuck no, Jake. I'm done doing that. I want to get back to Ostium. Some fucking how. And then take a really long nap.
That sounds really great to me. Let's make it happen.
Do you know how?
No, not really. But I have an idea. Well, more of an inkling. Do you have all the talismans from the different worlds you visited?
You betcha.
Good. I think they're going to be important. So, step 1 is...
Go through a door.
You guessed it. How about that one?
The lighthouse?
Yeah, it's the closest to us. No reason not to use it.
Sounds good to me.
Good. And I'm going to need to hold your hand. I feel like that's part of it.
Okay, Jake. Do you suffer from sourpussitis? Have you struggled with the heartbreak of exploding head syndrome or the pain of magical baby bloat? 10 out of 10 doctors recommend Alba-Salix, if they're all clones of Alba-Salix. And that's good enough for me. Join Alba, Magnus, and Holly as they keep Varloria's king, queen, and citizens healthy and safe, despite themselves. Alba-Salix. Albisalix is a fun-filled fairy tale comedy from our friends at the Fable and Folly Network. Don't forget to check out other great shows like Unwell, The Amelia Project, Marsfall, We Fix Space Junk, Harlem Queen, Greater Boston, and many more. No matter what you're in the mood for, Fable and Folly has a show for you.
Where are we?
Somewhere dark and stuffy.
Let me see if I can find a light switch.
Oh my god. We're fucking back, baby.
Holy shit, it's the clock tower. We're inside. Okay, I can't really see much outside, but I can see shadows of buildings and the hintings of streets. Yep, we're definitely back in Ostium. Fucking A.
You ready for some grub?
Shit, yes. I'm starving. Let's get cooking.
So, I know it's a big fucking step that we're back here, but we still need to get back to the Ostium network. Somehow.
I know.
We need to get back to Steve. He's probably worried shitless about us. And I really miss him, too.
Yeah, I do as well. I've got the stirrings of an idea, but not till the morning. Once we're done eating, it's time to get a good night's sleep.
Shit. Yes, that sounds wonderful. And in the morning, a hot shower.
Perfect. After sleep, a shower and some breakfast, and we'll be able to think a lot clearer. And I should have the plan all worked out by then.
And I'm not gonna set an alarm.
Hell no. We get a really good night's sleep. We shower together, but that's all the detail I'm giving about it. We have a hearty breakfast and clean up, and then we're ready. I lead Monica to the map table. I need to put all your trinkets on the map table in no particular order, but hold on to the porcelain lily.
Okay.
Monica does so. Then I do the same, keeping my porcelain lily. Nothing happens.
Is this right?
I think so. Just going through the steps of my plan here. Not sure if anything's going to actually happen. We'll see.
Okay.
I then place my porcelain lily in the center of the map table. Now you place yours, joining up with mine, so they're one. Monica slowly does so. Then we stand and watch and wait. The sound of the pieces joining makes us both jump. We move closer and soon have our arms wrapped around each other, comforting. Then a rumbling begins, and I feel Monica tighten with fear. I do too a little, but I recognize the rumbling is different from the earthquake we experienced so long ago in Ostium. The rumbling increases, and there's a bright flash of light that blinds us both. I open my eyes once again and can see nothing at first. Dread races up my body like rising ice water as I wonder if I've gone blind from the flash. But then details come back into my vision, and I know I'm going to be okay. "30 seconds later, we're looking at each other. We're both okay. Our sight back to normal. Mostly. We look down at the map table. All the trinkets are gone.
What was that?
I don't know.
Do you think it was enough? Can we leave Ostium now and get back to Gibraltar?
No clue. Maybe.
There's only one way to find out.
She leads me out of the clock tower and down the street. We're walking really fast, and she starts running, and I do too. We're running hard until we make it to the gates. Those same iron gates I looked up at the first time I arrived at Ostium. There's no padlock in sight. Together we push the gates open, and they swing easily and without sound. On the other side is not endless blackness, a chasm of emptiness and despair. Instead, there's a rectangular black doorway. Then there's that fizzle sound again. can start to see something, details on the other side of that doorway. It looks like it might be the inside of that lab or whatever it was where they kept the door to Ostium. The one that was in the Ostium network. The one that Steve went through, and then Monica. But I'm not certain. I look to Monica. She looks at me. She's not certain either. Then she gives me a shrug. I nod and take her hand. We step through the doorway.
And now we come to the end of Season 5. This has been a lot of hard work to write and put together, but it's also been an absolute joy. I knew Jake and Monica would go on lots of adventures over the course of the season, but never envisioned many of them. Of course, there were some journeys that could not be completed, even though I wrote the scripts for those episodes. And if you become a patron of the Ostium Network at patreon.com/ostiumpodcast, you'll get to read those scripts. I always knew Jake and Monica would make it back together at some point, but not exactly how, and what interesting trinkets they'd be bringing along. For now, this brings an end to their journey in searching for each other through the many doors of Ostium, and now they're back together. It also represents a break until the beginning of their next adventure, coming in 2021 with Season 6. Stay tuned and keep your ears open for aural breadcrumbs and auditory surprises being released before the start of next season. This episode was written by Alex C. Telander. The part of Jake is performed by Chris Fletcher. The part of Monica is performed by Georgia Mckenzie. Sound design was done by Hail and Well Met Podcasts. Check out more of their great work at hailandwellmetpodcast.com. For a link to a transcript of this episode, please check the show notes. If you enjoy Ostium and would like to support the show, you can do so on our Patreon at patreon.com/ostiumpodcast. We've updated our reward structure with lots of new goodies like new miniseries, a special Zoomcast about how podcasts are made called From the Sound Up, postcards for patrons, and a Zoom chat with members of Team Ostium and patrons every couple of months. You can find all this and more at patreon.com/ostiumpodcast. Thanks for listening, and make sure you stay subscribed for special releases and announcements about Season 6.